In the Incan Empire, Emperor Cusco is selfish, narcissistic, spoiled, pays no heed to the needs of others, especially peasants, offends and abuses his servants, uses his power for incredibly frivolous reasons, and doesn't take his position as the emperor very seriously. On the eve of his 18th birthday, Cusco plans to celebrate by ruthlessly razing a local village to build a lavish and luxurious summer mansion called Cuscotopia against the objections of the village's leader, Pacha. When Cusco unreasonably fires his conniving advisor Yasma for repeatedly doing his job as the emperor, she plots to steal the throne by murdering him at dinner with poison. However, her dim-witted but kind-hearted assistant, Kronk, accidentally laces Cusco's drink with a potion that transforms him into a llama instead of causing his death. Under Yasma's instruction, Kronk knocks Cusco unconscious and attempts to dispose of him outside town. After a stroke of conscience, personified by his shoulder angel and devil prevents Kronk from casting Cusco over a waterfall, he inadvertently drops the bag containing Cusco on Pacha's cart. Pacha returns home, but couldn't bring G himself to tell his light-hearted family about Cusco's plans. Pacha eventually discovers Cusco as he regains consciousness, where he falsely accuses Pacha for turning him into a llama and kidnapping him. Cusco orders Pacha to escort him back to the palace, but Pacha refuses to help Cusco back to the capital unless he changes his mind and builds Cuscotopia elsewhere. Cusco and Pacha then have a large number of arguments, and after one, Pacha initially allows Cusco to wander into the nearby jungle alone, but he ultimately follows and rescues him from a pack of jaguars. Cusco accepts Pacha's terms to escort him home, but attempts to leave Pacha dangling from an old bridge within an hour's walk from the palace. An altercation between them ensues after Cusco also falls through the bridge, which results in the bridge total collapse. Cusco and Pacha then cooperate to save themselves from dropping into a crocodile-infested stream, and Cusco even saves Pacha at one point, earning Pacha Cusco's good side. Meanwhile, Yasma eventually discovers that Kronk failed to eliminate Cusco, so they both set out to find him. The duos arrive at a diner at the same time, completely unaware of the others' presence. Cusco and Pacha are disguised and oblivious. While Cusco argues with the cook, Pacha overhears Yasma's plans and Kronk narrowly fails to recognize Pacha. Cusco, oblivious to Yasma's treachery, brushes off Pacha's attempt to warn him out of stupidity and leaves, as shown in medias res at the start of the film, only to overhear Yasma and Kronk's machinations about him himself soon after. After eventually realizing that no one in the empire misses him because of his selfish, arrogant, and spoiled behavior, Cusco prepares to resign himself to life as a normal llama, but encounters Pacha waiting amongst a herd and reconciles with him. Kronk, meanwhile, finally recalls Pacha and his connection to Cusco. He and Yasma await them at Pacha's home, posing as distant family members. Pacha has his family delay Yasma by locking her and Kronk in a closet, giving him and Cusco a head start back to the capital. They find Yasma's secret lab and numerous transformation potions, but Yasma has taken the potion that would return Cusco back to normal. She orders Kronk to kill Cusco and Pacha, but he cannot bring himself to do so, and Yasma drops him through a trapdoor after he attempts to kill her. Instead, by dropping a chandelier on her head, Yasma drops the human vial amongst a scattered collection of others, and she calls upon the palace guards to seize Cusco and Pacha. A chase through the palace ensues, in which Cusco and the guards consume different vials, changing into different animals. As Cusco and Pacha are cornered on the ledges of a giant stone structure, they find they are down to 2 vials. Yasma lunges onto Cusco but accidentally lands on one of the 2, turning herself into a small cat. Despite the transformation, she still manages to gain the upper hand in the struggle for the final vial, but is unexpectedly foiled by Kronk opening a window. Cusco drinks it and returns to his human form. Now completely changed, making amends with those whom he offended and regaining his throne, Cusco, after feigning annoyance over Pacha, misleading him about his mountain, opts to build his summer home on a neighboring, unoccupied hill. Sometime later, Cusco joins Pacha and his family at his modest resort. Elsewhere, Kronk has become a scout leader, and trains a new batch of scouts in the language of squirrels, including the reluctant Yasma, who still remains in cat form.